So there's a number of ways that they fall short, but one of the most important things is they don't know how to structure their stories. And one of the things that I've talked about, I think in another interview on this for the Author Learning Center, is the 5 essential elements of a great story. And it's having an inciting incident, a protagonist, an antagonist, a conflict, and resolution. And oftentimes when I'm at a writer's conference and talking to an author and they hand me their book and say, will you read my book? I say, I might read your book, but before I do, I want you to do something. I want you to take your book and I want you to go back to your room and I want you to tell me if you have these 5 elements in your book and when do they get introduced into the story. And I remember on one occasion I was at a writer's conference and a gentleman came to the table. He went back that night in his room and he took that exercise and he outlined where the protagonist, antagonist, and inciting action, and he came back the next day and he goes, I didn't introduce the antagonist till the 8th chapter. And so he realized that it wasn't structured well. That's really, really important. A second thing is you need to make sure that you give me someone I can care about. And so I need to know who the protagonist is and why I should care. And the reason I care is because I want to know what's at stake. So in the inciting incident, is someone kidnapped? Is there a body found? Is there someone in Hallmark movies who moves back to find their long-lost love unexpectedly? But that's important because what draws us into stories for the screen especially is someone that I can connect with not just intellectually but emotionally, and I want to see them succeed. I want to see them find the kidnapped child, solve the murder, fall in love, save the family farm, whatever it's at stake. So those are some basic things that are just often missing. And then the last thing I would say is that they don't end the story well. They resolve it in a way that's unsatisfying or just doesn't resolve, or they introduce something out of the blue as the solution. And so a good story has these elements so that when you get to the end of the book or you see the movie, it's like, oh, I should have saw that coming. I should have put that together. And now it makes sense why that person is the one who committed the crime or who, moved back to save the family farm. Like you want to put those pieces together. So that's oftentimes what people miss as well.